let's go. Thanks everyone. Joining us for another storage meetup. These Fridays are, man, it feels like it was yesterday, but at the same time, sometimes it feels like it was a few weeks ago. So I don't know. My frame of reference of timing is off this week. But again, I love seeing everyone's here coming here on these Friday meetups. Nice seeing your faces. If you're on, turn your cameras on. It's always better to see everyone than just kind of lurking in the background. But if you can, turn them on here. Again, this is very free-flowing conversation. Never quite know where it's going to go. I do want to ask if Spectrum Seller is here, just message me real quick and I'll bring you up shortly if you're on. But no, I kind of, the selfish reasons, I want to kind of continue the conversation a little bit on the booths and stuff. So like, for those that go to these shows, SSA or the state shows or ISS, when you do have a booth, like what makes it worth it? I've heard a few people say if I just get one contract out of it, it's worth it versus how many leads. Just I'm curious. Anybody? Jen, I'll ask you because your booth was amazing. I'm just curious, like how many leads did you guys get, or so it was worth it going to all
Uh,
out like that?
yeah, I mean, we've never done it before, so we're just like shooting at the hip and signing up for a ton of random things to see what sticks. But it was beyond worth it just because our number one goal is getting our name out there because like
Yeah.
everyone associates all-purpose storage with Patriot Holdings. They don't associate us as like a third party, as like an operator out there for everyone else. So like mission accomplished, like even if that was the only thing that came out of ISS, like it was totally worth it. I know I mentioned like I definitely like 35 quality leads is what I got out of it, but I scanned a crazy amount of badges. So at
Mm.
least they're like on my email list now, to try to get them to like attend some of our webinars and stuff like that. So for us, it was totally worth it. Just to have it be our first one. And we signed one deal actually yesterday out of it that we met there. So it was already
Yeah.
worth it.
Make your money back right there. That's awesome.
Yeah. Hmm.
That's perfect. We kind of got
You guys
started.
had the best. You guys had the best plush toy too, easily.
The best what?
Watch toy.
Plush toy. Yeah,
Oh,
Roy, it
Someone
was great.
stole mine, Jen. We were taking pictures and I had it sitting on top of our TV in the booth. And I turned around and it was gone. That was a hot commodity right there.
oh my God. We just wanted to have fun. Like it was so selfish of us. Like we just wanted to like see him out into the universe because he's like our guy. So it was all very us just wanting to have a good time. So I'm happy everyone else did too. I got some really inappropriate photos of Roy as well, just for everyone to know.
You knew
He
that was
definitely
bad. You
made
knew
it
that was
to,
gonna happen. Come
he
Unfortunately.
Was
made
it
it
was it
to
from Jim Mooney?
no, no. But Roy made it to a couple of strip clubs. He smoked a couple of things. He drank. It was not, he definitely grew up on this trip. So,
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Hilarious.
Good for you, Roy.
yeah, right.
And at the shows, I'm just curious. I've heard in the past people complain about like there was other things going on during the trade show hours. Is it have they kind of solved that now? Is being like no trade show hours is exclusively just for trade show people to start
I
walking around?
think they have. I think that,
That's
like,
good.
in years past, it was such a hot button and topic for a lot of people because, as coming from like a vendor's perspective, and we all know how much it costs us to be there, and you are offering things to take our prospects away, where people were saying what you should do is like, for example, I forget what show it was, but they were doing roundtables during the trade show hours as well, and just to kind of get everything in. And a lot of people were complaining and saying, okay, well, you're giving them options, like you're taking our prospects away, or people that, could potentially like be somebody that would want to do businesses with us, but now they have to choose between the roundtables and or the trade show, and you're making the trade show shorter, and like
Yeah.
shorter or longer hours. So if it was a 5 hour trade show, 2 hours of it was an option to go to the roundtables. still they had the option, after the roundtables were over to go to the show, but it didn't set well with people. So I think they've made the trade show shorter and to where they've divided the time between the trade show and the roundtables. But it was an issue for a while.
Yeah, Jennifer, I would add to that that from a vendor's perspective, when you separate it out like that, your vendors might have to divide and conquer as well. So you might
Well, you
have
have to take
somebody in
extra
your booth.
people, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. You would have to pay to have at least one or two extra people at every show so
Mhm.
that one's doing the roundtable and one's doing the booth.
Yep.
Or unfortunately, you have to pick to do the booth or the roundtable. And that's not always ideal either if you have the option to do a roundtable. So, yeah.
Interesting. Anyone go to again, I know it's a new week, new show. Anyone go to what was it, Mountain West conference?
Yeah, I just got back this morning.
Who's talking? Oh, there you are.
Yeah. It was
How was
good.
it?
It was super intimate. Um, it wasn't like, overly packed, but like I didn't have a booth. I just attended because we have a facility in Idaho. So I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll go tour it, visit it, and then attend the show. But the content was great. I thought the conversations were really nice. Super, small and intimate is the best way to describe it. But I thought it was great.
Nice. So,
No easy way to get to Idaho, but it was.
yeah, Boise can be interesting sometimes. That's
But no, but it was good. Thought they did a really great job. What I thought was really great, even like I was just attending. They really put the vendors in a spotlight, in my opinion. Like, whoever did have a booth, they gave a lot of extra networking time, which usually there's so many sessions, there's not a ton of networking time for people to try to get leads. So I thought they did a really great job with that.
a good idea. That's Let me before I get to my next part. Let me ask real quick: is Spectrum Cellular Management? Are you on here? If you are, just raise your hand and say something. I just don't know your face or name, so if you come on later, just message me. Otherwise, we'll keep going. No, this is curious, and I brought this up during the pre-show hangout, but cool. More people are on here. You're my focus group right now. I am going to be doing I put it in June. We'll see if I hit June. Basically like a half day virtual. I hate using the word summit because everyone uses summit, but it's going to be an AI and automations event. Vendors slash sponsors slash people doing the demos, and you know me, kind of like the show and tell. We're not doing the talking head thing, saying AI is cool and then just moving on. Like, no, we're gonna show it. I want to see it in real time, what it does, examples, all that kind of stuff. So, in doing that, you can speak up or put it in chat, whatever. But what would be worth your time? To show up. I'm thinking about probably like a 4-hour block for kind of what I want to put together here. But any use cases or any certain demos or any certain vendors you think, hey, these guys would be awesome to come on? Just want to throw it out to the group. Any thoughts on that?
I think you would be successful if you could find a vendor that does the AI for the call center. I know that there's a lot of buzz for a lot of that right now, for especially that call center centric, because there are a lot of companies that are starting to do it. I've definitely put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into the call center aspect of AI just because I just think that if we're going to do something like that and it's a voice, a lot of companies have come a long way. I've been looking into it for about a year now, and it definitely has come a long way in the past year. With I'm super particular. Like, I don't want somebody calling our call center and have it sound extremely roboty. Where now they've come to where I mean, they literally can record someone's voice and it sounds just like her. So if you wanted your call center agent, I mean, it's really they've done a really, really good job. Like Unity is one that does a good job. I know Swivel does one.
Hey, Jen, buzz, 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 buzz.
XBS does probably the best
I
one.
got you. I got you.
But I just think that like if you could get Shannon to do a demo or something, I think that it's what a lot of, I mean, just kind of, I'm also in the mix a lot with our clients and owners and whatnot about like what kind of we're looking for, what they're looking for, whatever. I think that that would be a good avenue, definitely for sure. And Shannon, she definitely would represent XPS very well with that.
I'll give you your $5 later, my friend.
Yeah.
You're on my list, Shannon. But no, I mean, you kind of hit it because I want to, and it's not just me. I think I'll kind of scratch my own itch here, but just the people I've talked to and operators, we just need to see it. We need to see it and feel it and hear it and just experience it on what it actually
Hey,
does
Jim,
and
can I
can do.
add?
So,
Can I add something here?
please.
Yeah, I think we would be interested in presenting that too. And I know right now stores tends to be focused on that customer facing, prospect facing. How could we implement and land those prospects and get them signed up, and how can it help us run our business? I think also it's worthwhile taking a look at other aspects of AI, how you can apply that to your business, from expense management, from reporting, from benchmarking, right? So there are, we have a quiver of AI tools that can help you not just manage that prospect or bring in that prospect, but also tell you like, hey, your utility bills are not right, right? Or there's a faster way to approve these payables, right? To make you more efficient on the back end as well. So, if you're going to talk about AI, I think it's probably worthwhile to look at the entire spectrum of property management, not just looking at tenants and prospects.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm shooting for is, the arc of operations, of customer journeys, of the actual management of the property. So that's you're hitting the nail on the head. I want to shoot for stuff like that. So
And you
I'll
need
reach out to you
Gabriel
too.
Luna. You have to have
Yeah,
Gabriel
yeah,
because
Yeah.
he is the champion of automating your workflows, and so I think he would be a great addition.
Hey, Gabriel's great. I gotta rein him in a little bit on doing like focus and doing like a 15-minute thing because he can go off forever. I love Gabriel, but he can like talk and talk. I'm like, nope, let's go back to our original point. Because that's
You
kind of the
also
idea too. I don't want to have like short, to the point segments of okay, this is what here's that example, here's that demo. Cool. All right, next thing. Because
I've
otherwise,
also heard a lot of
it could be too
buzz.
much. Oh, go ahead.
I've also heard a lot of buzz about like the reviews. There's a lot going on with reviews right now. At the Arizona show, Cal Levitt did a really nice presentation with Jim Mooney about the reviews and stuff. And I know that that was kind of the buzz around the Arizona show, just different avenues and how to get them and just the different ways that different companies go about getting them and whatever. That would be another good one.
Yeah, and that would kind of fall under like the automations, not so much probably an AI, but more of an automations factor. Because that's
I would personally like to see someone get up and do a demonstration on what's happening with the smart cameras and the AI powered cameras and things like that, because I know that's jumped leaps and bounds in the last couple of years, but I don't know how. So I find that interesting.
yeah, I know there's one that's called like Hawkeye or something like that, or Falcon
There's
Eye
yeah,
does
there's
that, right?
Hawkeye. We
Okay,
use Spot AI. They're incredible.
Spot
I might
AI.
be able to get someone from there to talk if you want to. I have some contacts, but
Shoot me an email with their contact. Yeah,
and there's a there. I think there's Eagle Eye as well.
that's what it is.
Yeah, Eagle Eye and
It was a
the Spot
bird. I was
AI and there's
close.
Hawk
Okay.
Eagle. Ah, it's a bird.
Eagle Eye. Okay, that's what it was.
Smart Eye is OpenText one. I know that. Also, if we can
Okay.
get something to do with like the smart locks as well, like get no key on or something like that. Like what have they been doing with AI recently? Sorry, I'm totally an ops guy, so I'm always thinking about how is this going to affect my life on a property.
Well, that's who I'm talking to. That's,
Right, right.
I mean, hello. That's the point of this. So, okay, that helps. Again, I want to be selfish and ask you, but hey, you guys are here. So you can be the focus group on that. I want to, because I want to create it and make it and have the vendors and people that you want to see on this and make it worth your time. It's going to be jam packed. I have a feeling it's going to be a lot there. besides just like for storage operations, would you guys be interested in maybe like an hour of just, I don't know, just playtime of actually showing, the videos and the photos you can make and just that kind of stuff. And maybe I'll try to weave in storage at the same time, but that stuff is just it's just fun. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out how to apply it to marketing and things like that, but I can do a segment like that, and I'll probably teach that part of it. Um, Speaking of
Yeah, I'd
which,
love to listen. Love to listen to you talk about those videos and stuff you make. It's and post on LinkedIn. Like you make some amazing stuff, and I don't know how to do any of that. So I'm interested in it.
well, if you haven't played with it, I mean, I always say just stick with one platform and just stick with it because everyone kind of keeps trying to jump to all the different platforms, and each week they just kind of leapfrog each other. Like just stick with one and learn that, and just play with it. And uh, OpenAI just came out with another leapfrog when it comes to their photo. I forget what that's even called, but just their photo capabilities. Holy crap, it's insane. I did one just a couple of days ago and just said, "Hey, just give me the history of self storage and put it in an infographic." That's literally all I gave it, and it came back with an amazing photo and visual and the timeline because it pulls everything from the web and spelling was immaculate. So yeah, there's a lot you can start doing with this kind of stuff. So maybe I could do like a segment just on playing with it, but then we'll weave it in how you actually use it for your storage marketing. So
Jim, do you have any tips on for Notebook? I feel like whenever I try to generate an infographic or a video, it's like, sorry, I failed. And it happens like frequently. Like, is it
for,
a smaller prompt or like how are you successful at getting your outputs?
in what was the platform you said?
Notebook?
For Notebook LM that we talking about, Notebook LM on
Yeah.
Google, I use that strictly as I don't do any pictures off of it. I don't do any. I use that more as a research thing, and then of course I make the videos off of it as well. If you guys have noticed that,
Yeah.
but I don't do any graphics. Uh,
I've
Got
been
it.
doing I've been doing the graphics, Holly. It's a smaller data set.
Okay.
If it has too much data, it's like it thinks itself into a tizzy and it won't generate. So it's a smaller data set will usually do the trick.
So just thinking, it might be cool, Jim, if we broke up into like meetup groups one session and we had like how do you identify yourself on your AI literacy and like what you want to know? Like, are you beginner? Like, are you, using it for this? Do you want to use it for like it would be great to watch Corey put together what she's doing, her data sets, and like it might kind of be cool like a to do the show and tell in brackets. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that.
so just like basically where you're at in AI journey and what you're actually using and
Yeah,
questions, comments. Okay. Well, hell, we could do
or
that
maybe
today if
like
we
an AI
wanted.
champion for the different breakout groups.
Okay. Well, we actually might start to do a little bit of that today. Seriously, why not? I
Excellent.
do this on the fly. So hey, we're gonna do that today for our breakout groups. Just talk about your what you do in AI, what you want to learn about it, what you have used for it, successes, and then maybe we'll come back and we'll just pick someone from your table that was in there and just come back with briefly kind of what you talked about. So cool. There you go. We just gave us our agenda for the breakout rooms. That's how we do this. But I'll be putting this together. I'm gonna kind of lock myself in the room this weekend and put everything together, and I'll officially announce I think next Friday. We'll take a few minutes to kind of walk through it, but I think it'd be a value for everybody on here and for others to check this out because it ain't going anywhere. I mean, again, it might be outdated in 3 months. Seriously, that's how fast this is moving. But at least you know where you're at right now in the snapshot of things and how people are actually using it. So, well, one last ask, real quick. So, anyone that's operators, manager companies, owners that are using it in their operations, throw them my way. I like to talk with people that are actually doing it day to day and see what's up. Because I literally just had someone message me this morning going, "Hey, I want to do voice agents and da da da." I'm like, "Well, what software do you have?" He told me the software. I'm like, "They already have that. It's baked in," and he didn't even know it. It's the software he's already using. So it just got to be loud. you got to be loud about this and get it out there. I'm going to ask one more time because I don't want to skip them, but Spectrum Cellular, if you want to do a show and tell, here's your last chance. Going once, twice. Okay, we're done. All right, all right, we're going to do breakouts. People have not been on the last few weeks. I've done this last couple of weeks now, and people seem to enjoy it, so we're going to keep it going. It gives everyone a chance to, I love the big groups and all that, it's great, but it will give you a chance to be able to, a little more one-on-one, introduce yourself, what you do in storage, and if we wanted to have a topic, I would like, Holly, I'm going to steal your idea. What are you doing with AI right now? Where are you at? You beginner, intermediate, advanced? That kind of thing. Any ideas you want to try to how to using it? Then when we come back, just kind of give me some ideas. We'll see if something sparks. So let me break out the rooms. But no, I'd love to hear. I mean, I just wanted to bounce around and make sure people are talking, but I'd love to kind of hear what was going on in the room, what you guys are looking for, where you're at, any ideas for the upcoming AI event. So go on. Anybody that's from the room, I'll pick you on, Guy, first since you're right next to me.
The one thing, we had a young lady in there that hasn't really used AI for anything, and I showed her. I was telling her about the one easy one I was showing you yesterday using Manus for your competitive research.
Yeah.
Manus.im. One thing that it'll do, a lot of the scrapers out there for competitive research, they can be blocked, right? So some of the REITs have blockers for the scrapers on pulling pricing from your competitors' data. Manus will actually open up a window and visually view the website, and it will extract whatever is current on the website for competition. And then I was showing Jim yesterday some of the reports that'll pull for you. It's way more user friendly. It's a real simple prompt. You just go to manus.im, enter the URL of your facility, tell it you're the owner, give it the address, and it will and tell it that you want competitive research for the top 20 competitors in your area based on a radius, and it will pull everything. It'll pull pricing, it'll pull promotions, it'll extract. You can also tell it to search Facebook library and Google ad library. It'll pull, if they've got ads running, it'll pull that, and it'll return it in a very user friendly form, and it's like $20. So
and it's able to get around the anti-scraping.
It does, because it'll actually pull up. It'll pull up a visual screen. It'll start up a computer basically and look visually at the facility site and pull the data. Now, is it 100% accurate? No, nothing's going to be 100% accurate. But I've pinned it against a lot of the. I'm not going to mention any names, but some of the licenses you pay for to actually scrape that data, and it's beat them every time. And it's not just that. You could use Perplexity Computer to do it as well. But for $20, man, you can't beat it. We pull it. There is an API in the background, so if you've got an agent, just give it the Manus API and schedule it every week. If you're using Claude, you can give it the Manus API and you can tell it every week on Wednesday.
Now you're talking too nerdy now, Guy. Okay.
But no, he's not. He's not.
I got a question.
This is a problem I ran
Do these
into.
ever hallucinate? Like when it comes to storage? Like, have you ever seen that you ask your AI a question and it gives you a completely wrong answer? Is anyone using AI and it's giving wrong information about storage?
All the time.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Sure. That's why you have
every model.
I will say, and Holly, back me up here. I feel like it's getting a lot better. Like it used to be a lot worse. It used to have a lot more errors, and they're fewer and further between. They're still just as crazy, but what do you think?
This is the worst it will ever be. It's just going to keep getting better, but it's still.
But
I feel like Gemini is still the worst, but
I did Gemini's a people pleaser for sure.
I read gaslight me too.
I read an article in our group. It doesn't have the background. Like when you ask it a storage question, it doesn't understand or have the iteration in the back of all the knowledge that we have or have access to. But it's very good at doing something when you tell it to do and how to analyze it.
My biggest Holly, speaking of gaslighting, Gemini actually said to me, I didn't say that. And I'm like scrolling up, like,
Yeah,
you
I'm
did
telling
say
you.
that, right? Yeah.
See screenshot.
Yeah.
Yeah, been there.
How was Holly? Since you started, it's your fault. So do
Yeah,
this topic.
no,
How was your group?
we had a really great conversation. We had three key bullets that came up. So first, it was what would make basically what would make an AI show and tell worth it to come, right?
Yeah.
And Mary had shared that specific use cases, like if I do X, I will get Y, which will equal Z for my facility. Not general, not this is how we can use tools. Jen's was more about data, like how can I use the data to make decisions that are actually going to impact our business, like what like impactful use cases. And Jake shared how to actually code to get to some of these automations, which is where I was as well. And then when we talked about everything overall, we noticed that it was tool agnostic. We weren't saying, how do we maximize ChatGPT or how do we use Claude Cowork or how do we use Notebook LLM? It was more so, show me where AI is going to make an impact on my business. And that's going to be my buy-in to doing these things. And we had different comfort levels for where we were at to execute on those.
Gold star for you. Yeah, no, and that's I think that's great. Doing specific use cases. Again, not just talking about it, showing it and seeing it and being very exact. I don't want to stretch something for 20 minutes that could be shown in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean? So
and also too, Jim, we're doing this internally and storable too. Like we have our own in show and tells, like show what you build. And like one thing
yeah.
Chuck is very like just yesterday he was saying, he's like, do not be intimidated. I want to see the smallest agent you've built. Like don't like, and I think that might be why some operators are afraid to share what they've built. Like it might seem like it's on a small scale, but it sounds like that's what we all want. Like we want to know like how you did revenue management for one property and increased your revenues. Like that's cool. So I would say maybe take away some of the feeling like what you're doing might be small compared in the scheme of AI. We're not asking anyone to be an expert. Just share what you've done that you what made your life easier.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. I'm trying to tear down some of these walls and being like, it's not that scary. And if you can actually see it and experience it, yeah, well, we're playing. We're gonna play here. Anybody else? Other tables? I want to hear. I'll pick on you, Tyler. How was your group?
Oh, you're killing me. I had nominated Shannon to be our voice, but
Okay, Shannon.
sure, I'll
Okay.
say a couple things.
Now I'm gonna let Tyler do it. I was
Uh,
nominating him and he reverse uno'd me. So I'm glad that you called him.
Um, well, let's see. We had a really diverse group. We had a couple people that were new to storage. We had a couple people that were new or returning to the meetup here.
Nice.
People on the financial side, people on the management and operations side of things, and then a couple vendors like Shannon and myself. I think I would second what Holly said is that I would love to see kind of behind the scenes, share your screen. What are you doing with AI, and where does the rubber actually hit the road? And we had a breakout a couple weeks ago. I got to meet Guy. He and I connected afterwards, and man, he is just a wealth of knowledge, and I learned a
He's on a
couple
different
things
level,
from him.
man.
Yeah, I feel like I leveled up just talking to him and trying out a couple things. And one of the things I've found is that I've probably developed 50 or so different tools and harnesses and frameworks. Don't use them all. Sometimes those are just like learning exercises. What actually filters to the top is what's closest to the till, what helps us best serve our clients, what produces the best possible results, what allows us to add value. I think that if you're a small shop, it's interesting to see what's behind the scenes and how things are developing. And it's also interesting to see what vendors have actually pushed tools to production and on their client side. And it's all helpful, just consuming.
Cool. It's Now I don't want it just to be consuming either, to use your words, but I want to be like cool and have like an action plan behind it. Like I'd love to be able to have like a step one, here's your at, take a step two, kind of ease people into certain things to be able to experience in their operations. So we'll see. Well, we're gonna keep playing with this. Anybody else? Would love to hear any other words of wisdom that came from your group.
I thought Camille had some good info. Do you want to share
Hey, what's up, Scott?
your bot?
We're
Yeah.
done.
It's very new. This literally just came out yesterday, but it's been in development. Our, management profile uses Salesforce on the back end, for logging manager tasks or getting to their policies and procedures. So we actually have a knowledge bot that lives inside of Salesforce. It kind of pops up like a chat and says, like, what can I help you with? And you can ask it questions like, for a manager mainly to be like, there's a death of a tenant. What do I do if they brought in a death certificate? And it will tell them back like, no, you can't accept that death certificate. This is what you need. Here's how to proceed. And it'll kind of just like your regular conversational AI. It'll be like, do you want me to move on to the next steps or whatever. So that's been really cool to see. And it can also make changes within Salesforce. So I've just been playing around with it a little bit today, but I can say, hey, I want you to log this activity for this prospect. Here's the summary of what happened. And it'll say this prospect and it'll say yes, and then it'll go ahead and do it. So interesting stuff.
That's cool. Yeah, you got to showcase that later on.
I know. I don't know if I'm allowed to because, like I said, it's actually kind of still in beta test right now. So I've just been playing with it, but maybe one day I'll get on here and actually show you guys
later on. Because there's so many tools.
I just want to know why wasn't this around like 10 years ago when I was a manager? Because do you know how hard it was to go through like 100 policy and procedure documents to find that one line? And it's like, can I take a partial payment? And you're like, which one of these like 20 payment policy documents is that answer in? So this is just, I think it's game changing for new employees.
And has that ever been updated ever one time since the company was created?
I was always that person. You can put in a request where you're like, hey, this policy needs to be updated. And like poor Kelly with like operations gets probably really annoyed with me because I'm like, this is not correct. This is not correct. Needs to be updated.
Richard, I'm not going to try your last name. What were you saying here in chat? I'm curious. There's a lot going on.
So everything put into the free versions of AI, they can use that data to help train future AI models, which means it's no longer private information to you or your company. So if you buy the enterprise version, a lot of those have the option to turn that off, turn that data usage off for them using it to build future models, therefore keeping everything you upload private to you and your organization or you personally. Because one thing people don't understand is anything that you put in there in the free versions or anything you put in there when you still have the option for it to use that data is not safe. It can be pulled by other sources and things like that. So you want to make sure that before you upload anything that is sensitive material at all, you need to read your privacy statement on which AI you're using and make sure to turn that off.
Interesting. Okay. No, that's great. Thank you. Any other people at their tables ever chosen to speak? I want to hear. Everyone's quiet. Come on. All right. I'm going to choose one more. Then we'll go. Corey, you always like to talk.
Well, I had nominated Matt, but and he remained silent. No,
one of these. Yeah.
No, yeah. But I think one of the things that we talked about, and I think is important that we all remember, is you're going to fail, and you need to understand that you're going to fail, and you might have to redo some of your work time and again until you find the right model, find the right tool. But don't be afraid to fail because that's how you learn. And I think that was actually, it's really helpful for me as a perfectionist to remember these things, but I think that's how you learn. And if you can embrace it, I think that's why a lot of people are afraid to start, right? You don't know and you're afraid to fail. Well, you just know that you're going to fail. We have all failed at it. Anybody that's done a great job at it, we all had to fail at some point. So I thought that was a good thing to bring to everyone.
And who are some good operators to reach out? I mean, obviously it comes to mind is like 10 Federal. I mean, how they hired the AI, what was the position they just hired for like 2 weeks ago?
Oh yeah, their
head of
AI
or something.
Yeah.
Chief AI officer. on top
Yeah.
of the bed. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and you're going to see more and more of that. But I'm just curious, like, I mean, they come to mind, 10 Federal. Any other operators you think I should reach out? Because, I would love to have operators kind of showcase what they're doing. Anyone else come to mind?
Well, I already mentioned Gabe, so Daryl. So I think he's a good one because they're really implementing a lot of that in their operations. I'll have to think on others,
How
but
about the Patchwork Labs guys? They own a portfolio of what, 25, 30 facilities?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they'll definitely. I was talking to Fraser yesterday because he's affiliated with that. So yeah, they'll definitely come on. Because again, it's just one thing talking about it. You got to see it and see it in real time. What they're willing to share. And again, some things are you don't want to show all this certain data, but just overall, I think it'd be nice to be able to see that kind of a flow of things. We'll go from there. All right, we got about 5 minutes, so I don't want to keep talking about AI if you don't want to. Anything else coming on, or any other shows that's coming up?
I'm headed to Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio next week. Who's going?
Nice.
Me.
See you there.
Yeah, I'll see you there. Excited. I've never been to Indianapolis, so this will be new for me.
Oh, awesome.
Do I need to know anything about like the weather there?
You got to go to White Castle.
Okay. Good burger.
Who said
Ollie?
that? Is that true?
Scotty.
I heard they weren't great, Scott. Are
No,
you
they're
serious?
not.
I don't
No.
like onions, so that's why I don't think I'm gonna like White Castle.
They're not great. That adds to the experience, though.
It's the experience.
It's just about knowing, it's about having tried it, not about enjoying it. Is that
Yeah. It probably tastes better at 2 o'clock in the morning.
okay? Robert's a fan. White Castle burgers are amazing.
See?
I saw a movie a million years ago where the guy called them rat burgers. I guess they come in like a little thing and he called them rat burgers, and I've never been able to kind of wrap my mind around that, not gonna lie.
You haven't been able to wrap your mind around that rat burger.
No.
Neil, Indianapolis is a great sports town, actually. I was out there for the NCAA Women's Water Polo Championship, but I noticed like that town is built around sporting events.
Yes.
Basically. So, pull up a community calendar, find out what's going on. It's going to be interesting, I would say.
Yeah. You can do a lap at the Indy 500. They have like a little bus that will take you on the track. I've done that before.
So that's the way to do it, though. I mean, if you're going to go to the shows, you got to kind of bake in a little bit of time to enjoy the city, right?
Yep.
I feel like I never have that.
I don't either.
It's like between the trade show and then dinners with somebody. It's like there's no like playtime. I mean, there's drinking playtime at night, but like that's about it. There's not like a daytime activity.
No, you have to fly in a day early if you want to do
I know.
that.
We need to do that more often. I don't know why we don't.
Who was I should have my notes in front of me, but I want to reach out a couple speakers. Who was the one you guys were saying that was so amazing that spoke at, I think it was Arizona?
Lemonade stand.
Thank you. Okay.
Oliver.
Yeah, he was fun.
Okay.
So he didn't speak. I think the gentleman's name that spoke is Daniel. But if you get on their website, I think all their information's on there, but it's the lemonade stand. Phenomenal.
Yeah. The guy who, I think it was Daniel, I think you're right about that, but he had like TED Talk energy. Like he was very expressive and
Animated,
it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what, Jim Ross? I can get you his info.
Oh,
I think he is the owner, and I have it on like the tip of my hands because I just sent it to Jeremy. So I will shoot you an email here.
Oh, thank you. That'll be fun. It's always nice to just. I mean, no offense to the speakers, but it's nice to have different blood sometimes at the shows.
I'm sorry. His name is Derek, Derek Miner, Miner. He's the gentleman that spoke, and I believe between he and Oliver, those two run the show.
Nice. I will reach out to them. Perfect. Well, before I forget, we got to do our selfie for the YouTube thumbnail. So, you ready? Count of 3. Cameras on. Ready? There we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. That works. Well, again, I appreciate you guys. Today was a little more, maybe for selfish reasons. Was asking more about the AI stuff because I'm formulating this agenda, but I think you guys are gonna like it. It'll be a good value. So I'm putting all that together for you right now. So any other thoughts or anything that comes up or demos you want to see, or speakers or vendors, like definitely reach out to those guys. Email me, message me. I'm not hard to find. So I really appreciate that. And kind of under self-imposed deadlines. So I want to try to get all this done, at least formulated within a week. So can do it. Yeah, that'll be that. So again, I will let you guys go. I appreciate everyone joining me here every Friday.
Thanks, Jim.
It's awesome
Thanks,
to see everyone's
Jim.
faces.
Good to see everybody. Have a great
Thanks,
weekend.
everybody.
Bye,
Have a
guys.
great
Thanks,
weekend,
Jim.
guys.
Bye.
Take it easy.